Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Howard Stutz joins us. He's the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent, here for the whole show on all new Nevada Newsmakers.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news in between and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Howard Stutz. He is now the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent. I will not put any jokes in there whatsoever. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Well, I am a senior, so that's okay. That's fine by me.
I wanted to start on a serious note, and sadly this has been frequent the last couple of weeks here, with the passing of Lois Tarkanian, a legendary figure for way more than being married to Jerry Tarkanian. Would you share what you shared with your readers?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the point is that, yeah, she was, came to town. She was, basically known as Coach Jerry Tarkanian's wife, and she blazed her own trail. She was an advocate for education. That's really what her love was. She had a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD, all involving education. She started a school for the deaf in California, before they moved to Las Vegas in the 70s and it's still, the School for the Deaf is still in place. It's one of the largest, I think, in the state. They moved to Vegas in the mid 70s. Danny Tarkanian, her, the oldest sibling, told me that, well, until Dad got going into the basketball career, she was the breadwinner for the family back then. But then she blazed her own trail in her own right. She served on multiple terms on the Clark County School Board. She was a 14-year member, I don't know how many terms that would be on the Las Vegas City Council. And then she, in 2000, when she was, I guess, would have been 86 years old, got elected to the Board of Regents. So the family said education was always her. That's what she was all about. And I think one of the interesting points, Danny sent me a text from Anderson Hunt that he received. Anderson Hunt was a star on the 1990 national championship team, and when Tark won the Final Four finally. And he said it wasn't without. He told Danny, if it wasn't for Lois helping him study for the SAT and the ACT, he never would have got into UNLV. And so he really credited her with helping. And there was a lot of outpouring support from the former players who just loved Lois. She was an icon of this community.
And the irony is that Danny is known as a very right-wing Republican, and Lois, of course, was a very strong Democrat. But the family got along just fine.
Family got along fine. There was all 4 children and 11 grandchildren were all there, this week. Danny said they took turns helping take care of her. She had, she'd been sick probably a good, I guess, for a while now. I don't know how long. We hadn't seen her in a long time. She'd been out of pocket, obviously. And they all took turns caring for her. And it's she leaves a legacy. It's a big, so she was really, like I said, she blazed her own trail. Jerry was Jerry and Tark the Shark and everything that went on as the basketball coach for the time. That was the game in town. That was the sporting team. Sports in town was the UNLV Running Rebels in the 80s and 90s. And but she, in her own right, she created her own legacy.
And what's funny is I was just thinking as you were talking there that these powerful women in Las Vegas blaze their own trails despite their strong husbands. You look at the Goodmans. When Oscar was the top attorney and at the same time moving into the mayoralty, Carolyn Goodman started the Meadows and one of the most successful schools in Las Vegas.
Right,
Well,
Karen, you got to remember, Sam, Carolyn likes to point out, she served 1 year longer in her term as mayor than Oscar because of the change in how they, when the elections were held. So she got an extra year on her term. So they were in office 25 years. She had 1 more year than Oscar did in that office.
And rightly so. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about all the regular business after this timeout.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Howard Stutz, the noted gaming reporter and now the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent. So I remember somebody who was talking about when they rebuild the convention center, they should just lob a little explosive over the wall and take out the Fontainebleau. Now, the land between the Sahara and Fontainebleau is about to take on something extraordinary. The drawings from Paul Steelman's office just look fantastic. Share with us what's going on there.
Well, they're talking about putting, this is the site that used to be, if you're down in Vegas, the old Wet and Wild site between the Sahara, as you said, and the Fontainebleau. Yes, that was me who said, take out the fountain blue. And I was reminded by that many times when Sofer bought the property back and now is running it. Quick note on the fountain blue, you notice one of Trump's key advisors is Witkoff, who was the owner of who owned that site for about a year and a half, and then COVID hit and he lost it in financial troubles. So little note there on the fountain blue. But no, you've got a group that is talking about putting I guess about a 2,500, 3,000 room hotel casino with an NBA ready arena on the site of Wet and Wild. Look, there's a lot of plans. Okay. Let's see let's see what the financing is. Let's see what comes out of all this. I mean, there's a lot of talk right now. Paul Steelman's, is a amazing designer. He always going to come up with some amazing designs, but I'm skeptical of this on a lot of these projects. We've heard so many of these get announced and never happen. I've been around too long for this. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, that site been talk over the years. Jackie Robinson wanted to put his arena hotel casino there. And, it's just been talked about for years and nothing's happened with it. So we'll see. I mean, I haven't written about it. I'll be honest, because I've got too many other things on my plate to write about that are right now real. And then we'll see if this becomes real or not.
Now, one of the things that comes into play here potentially is that the Warm Springs site for the arena is in doubt because of the cost of the land. So does that come into play here? And where is, the scuttlebutt on where that arena might be relocated if they can't work that out?
If they can't work it out, I think that, there's been talk about the Rio again. Now the Rio, if you remember, was considered a site for the A's stadium, baseball stadium on that back. They've got like 70 something acres on the Rio sits on, and there's like 25 acres in the back portion of it toward I-15. That's parking right now and storage, and they could turn that into, that's where they thought about dropping a baseball stadium. They could turn that into a basketball arena site. The question about the Rio has been the access traffic in and out. That was the bang question with the baseball stadium. So that's one site. I don't know if the Warm Springs site is completely dead yet. It's actually Blue Diamond and I-15. I'm not sure, but and Las Vegas Boulevard. Not sure if that's dead yet, but we'll see what's happening. And then the NBA hasn't set a date on expansion. They've talked about it. They've talked about 2026, 2027, or at least awarding a team. Vegas, it's expected that the NBA would award a team to Vegas along with Seattle to replace the Sonics that left there to go to Oklahoma City. It's all speculation right now. I mean, it's all what's going to happen there until the NBA decides. That's also part of it too. So I think it could happen pretty quickly if there is, for an arena at some point for an NBA team.
All right. So you brought up Andrew Witkoff and his involvement with the Fountain Blue at that time. I was listening to Donald Trump's interview with Joe Rogan, all 3 hours of it, and pretty quickly. Yeah, no, actually, it was fascinating. How often have we ever had a chance to hear a 3-hour conversation with any president, whether you support him or not, with any president in a conversation rather than being in a journalistic interview where it's tough questions? This was a conversation. One of the people first brought up by Trump in that conversation was Phil Ruffin. Now you talk about Witkoff. Trump has lots of hotel businesses and lots of involvement in Las Vegas and connections with lots of important people in Las Vegas and people who were important to Las Vegas. So when there's this talk about mass deportations, it makes me think that might be a slogan, and there's a huge difference between running for an office and actually governing, that there may, that could really have a detrimental effect on Nevada.
It could. I mean, yeah, you brought up Trump's connection here. He's, they still have the Trump International at the tower that's on, the back end of the, kind of by off the strip, basically. that Phil Ruffin, I think, still is part owner in it.
He owns the land.
Yeah, so he still owns the land. It's the old Frontier site. Yeah, I think that until we, look, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about the culinary is going to be, look, the culinary was in favor of no taxes on tips, but they're certainly not going to be in favor of mass deportations. So that's going to be an issue here. I mean, it's been all talk. There's been other things that have kind of dominated the landscape right now in the last week or so since Trump won the election. So we'll see where this takes us.
And I have to make a minor correction, and I can't believe I'm even getting to do this, but that was the old Elan site, not the new Frontier site.
The Elan site? Yeah.
Yes, where the Trump Tower is.
The Trump Tower is on the back end of the Frontiers, of what was near the old Frontier site.
Okay.
That's separate from the old Elan site, which was the Frontier. That site's going to be used this week. Was being used last week for Formula One. It's for the Formula One fan experience that they put in there. So Wynn owns that land now, where the Frontier was. Who knows what they're going to do with it? It's another project down the road.
Yeah, down the road. Okay, so you brought up Formula One. That is still an ongoing story about the businesses that feel that they have suffered greatly because of Formula One and the bridge over Flamingo. And I know from last year that we were having great difficulty getting around 10-minute rides in an Uber. We're now taking anywhere from a half an hour to 40 minutes. The original contract is for 3 years, so this year and one more year, but with a 7-year extension. From the scuttlebutt you're hearing, how does this sound to you?
It seems like it would be extended. I mean, the difference is this year they did the track setup overnight hours, so there wasn't much of a congestion problem, except during race, obviously when they shut it down for the race and we're shutting it down overnight hours to build the track. The biggest challenge is going to be, and yes, so some businesses are cut off a little bit during the construction and during the construction, the same ones that complained last year. There's some lawsuits pending. We don't know what's going to be the outcome there. The challenge will be, there's two challenges. One, Formula One spent $500 million to build the plaza, the Grand Prix Plaza. How they utilize that after when the race is done over the next year, that wasn't really a thing in the last year. We'll see what they do more for it next year. The other challenge is they have to repave the track every 7 years. So at that time, the 7 years, that's going to be the challenge. Can they repave the track? How they repave it, all the construction on that. So that'll be the challenge in a couple of years. Will the race come back? Look, will they renew it? I don't know. I don't have the insight on that. I can't imagine. I mean, it'd be a lot of legal issues if that doesn't get renewed, given what they have built and what they own on down in that corner of Harmon and Koval.
I still have the feeling that this is going to end up like the NFR over time, which is where, and it's already happening with downtown, where there will be activity at every property in Las Vegas. Whether you have a ticket for the race or not, you'll be able to see it on the big screens, you'll be able to go to parties, you'll be able to do all kinds of things at a much more reasonable price.
Well, that's what they did this year. Downtown did its own party. Downtown, Derek Stevens, the owner of Circus, said last year was a ghost town because of F1, because it was only centered around, that section along the strip between Harmon and Sands Avenue. Now, you had the F1 experience, as I said earlier, that was set up over on the old Frontier site that Wynn owns. It was a free event for 25,000 people a day attending that. Downtown did a 3 or 4 day party, festival with music and events. They were showing the race. Derek's going to put it up in Circa on his giant TV screens, and they showed it in all the sports books around town. The other difference is this year is the Raiders hosted a game on Sunday with the Broncos. Bronco fans travel very well, so it was the challenge with MGM said this during the first year of the F1, their South Strip properties saw nothing from F1. Bellagio, Cosmopolitan did great, but the South Strip did nothing. Now with having the Raiders game, all those properties were activated again because that's right across from Allegiant Stadium. All the Mandalay Bay and Luxor and MGM, so they did much better this year. So having the Raiders Broncos game on Sunday was a big help.
Yeah, to say the least. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Howard Stutz after this timeout.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
We wouldn't steer you wrong with the gold standard of steaks at Joel's Chop House. Indulge in dry-aged steaks, seafood, Wagyu tomahawks, and great views of the Strip.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Howard Stutz. He is the senior reporter for the Nevada Independent. Tillman Fertitta, now largest owner of stock in Wynn. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, he when he bought the 6% stake, when it was last year, that was okay. He's doing this as an investment, which is what he does. Now he's kicked it up. It's still technically a passive investment. We'll see what he ends up doing, how he's going to exert himself. The challenge is that's been brought up for Wynn. They have large holdings in Macau. So you've got the licensing there. You have 3 properties there, and they're building this project in the United Arab Emirates. And just got licensed for that. It's going to open in 2027, I think it is. And I'm gonna butcher the name, the Raj Al Khaimah, which is one of the Emirates in the UAE. That's where it's being built. $5.1 billion going into this. It looks magnificent. That's where it becomes a challenge on control of a company. Elaine is still an owner, still has a large chunk of the company, though Elaine's focus is really on building this art museum that she wants to build in downtown, near the Smith Center in that arts district that she wants to build. That's really her focus. She's a passive investor in the casino company, but we'll see where this goes. Tillman's not one who sits quietly, as you well know. He still has the land, 6 acres for some project on the Strip that he's talked about that nothing's happened with. We'll see where he ends up going with this. He owns the Golden Nugget. He redid the Golden Nugget up in the old, whatever it's been, how many different Hard Rock Horizon. It's now the Golden Nugget, Lake Tahoe. He owns that. He has nuggets in Laughlin and Las Vegas downtown. So who knows? We'll see what he ends up doing with Wynn.
Yeah, he's not short of cash too. Owning Landry's pretty impressive.
No, he's not. She's not shy.
To say the least. All right, last question here. I think. Ellen Whittemore is stepping down as the chief attorney for Wynn, but she wrote an amazing piece for Nevada Gaming Attorney magazine, where she kind of stunned me because she had not announced her retirement at that point, but where she talked about the need, and I'm paraphrasing here, for reform at the Gaming Control Board and the Gaming Commission about treating people who come before them as, in quotes, mafioso, rather than as business people, and the way that they looked at them. And I haven't heard any response from those folks. But I remember years ago, the head of Caesars, and this is years ago, made a similar comment about having to deal with every jurisdiction you had to be licensed in. Wouldn't it be better if you just had one? And Peter Bernhard, who was the head of the Gaming Commission at this point, just kind of shrugged his shoulders when I brought it up, which was, you want to be licensed in Nevada, that's the way it is. Your thoughts of any repercussions from this?
Yeah, you were talking about Gary Loveman,
Yes.
who was the chairman CEO of Caesars at the time, and Gary's was never shy. I didn't read the article. I'll be honest with you, I didn't read it. I hadn't seen it. That could be directed. My guess is at one certain board member, one member of the Gaming Control Board. Not so much the commission, not so much the chairman, Kirk Hendrick, or the board, Jennifer Tagliati on the Gaming Commission. I think one board member who has been a controversial pick by Governor Lombardo. That we questioned it when he made the appointment. So that's where that may be coming from. I don't know, but the board has done. Look, this is the system. Unless you want the feds to step in, which nobody does, and it's one big licensing, you got to go from state to state. Every state's different, and that's the system that we have. And I don't think that will ever change. The Nevada system's never going to change. The board makes recommendations to the full-time board, makes recommendations to the part-time commission. I don't think that'll ever change. But that's and just being candid, that's where my thought is, where that article is coming from.
And that's where we have to leave it. Howard Stutz, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for doing this.
Anytime, Sam, anytime.
And we'll be right back.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times at Tamarack.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.